Prime factorization. Before we look at some examples of our homework problems, we need to look at some definitions. The first definition is about prime numbers. A prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that has only itself and 1 as factors. In other words, no other number besides 1 and itself can be divided evenly into the number. Examples of prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. So for example, if we look at the number 5, we only have the factors 1 times 5. Those are the only two numbers that when multiplied together will give me 5. Since we only have 1 and itself as factors, this is a prime number. The next definition is prime factorization. Prime factorization is a group of prime numbers that when multiplied together give us the original number. We're going to look at some examples where we're going to take a number and factor it into a set of prime numbers. Factor the following natural number. If the number is prime, state so. Here we're given the number 588. We want to factor this number into the set of prime numbers. We're going to create a factor tree to do this. The first step is to draw two branches coming down from your number. Next, we need to think of two numbers that when multiplied together will give me 588. 588 is an even number, so I know that it's divisible by 2. On your calculator, type in 588 divided by 2. We should get the number 294. That tells me that 2 times 294 will give me 588. So I'm going to write those two factors beneath each branch that I drew in my factor tree. The number 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. Next, I want to see if I can factor 294. So I'm going to draw two branches, and I need to think of two numbers that when multiplied together will give me 294. Again, this number is even, so I can take my calculator and divide by 2. And you should get 147. So I know that 2 times 147 gives me the 294. Again, 2 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. But 147 may not be prime. So on the calculator, I'm going to see if there's a number that can go into 147 evenly. I know it's not even, so 2 will not divide evenly into 147. So let's try 3. When I divide 147 by 3, I get 49. So 3 times 49 is 147. 3 is a prime number, so I'll circle it. 49 is not a prime number. I know that 7 times 7 is 49. So again, I drew two branches and wrote the factors 7 times 7. 7 is a prime number, so I'm going to go ahead and circle those numbers. Notice that all of my factors are now circled because they're all prime. I don't have any other number to factor. So that means that I found my set of prime numbers. The set of prime numbers for 588 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 times 7. We can easily check this by multiplying 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 using our calculator. We should get the number 588. Now we're going to type this answer into MyMathLab. To do this, we'll select choice A. That's because there is a prime factorization for this number. Now we're going to put our cursor in the answer box, and we'll type in our answer. Our answer is 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 times 7. First, you'll type in a 2. Next, you'll select the multiplication dot that appears in the Math toolbox at the bottom of the screen. Next, type in a 2 again, and then the multiplication dot again, then a 3, the multiplication dot, a 7, the multiplication dot, and another 7. Next, you'll select Check Answer. Once you got the question correct, you can move on to the next question. This question asks us to factor the following natural number. If the number is prime, state so. Here we have the number 71. We're going to try to take the number 71 and factor it into a group of prime numbers. First, we need to see if we can come up with two numbers that when multiplied together will give us 71. If you take your calculator, you can try to divide numbers evenly into 71. First, let's try 2. 71 divided by 2 is not an even number. That's because 71 is not even. Next, we can try 71 divided by 3. Again, that gives us a decimal number, so that's not a whole number, so 3 doesn't divide evenly into 71. The same is true for 71 divided by 4, 71 divided by 5, and so on. Since we can't find two numbers that when multiplied together give us 71, we know that the only numbers are 1 times itself. Since the only two factors are 1 times itself, we know that the number is prime. So our answer is choice B. When we go to MyMathLab, we'll simply select choice B, the number is prime. Then you can check your answer and move on to the next question.